Cardano's ecosystem is surging with growth with the recent launch of a fiat-backed stablecoin. We've also got numerous projects getting listings on some of the top centralized exchanges, as well as protocols branching out into the Ethereum and Bitcoin networks. As a part of today's video, I want to break all of that down. What's up, Beta Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here for Reed. As a part of today's video, we're diving into the latest updates going on in Cardano. First things first, I want to give you guys a brief update surrounding USDM, the fiat-backed stablecoin that just launched on the 16th of March. And as a part of today's video, I want to give you guys an update surrounding additional USDM that has minted, as well as 3 new dexes which have now added support for the fiat-backed stablecoin. Second, I want to jump into updates surrounding the stable swap feature, keeping with the stablecoin theme coming in from the Minswap team. Now, I'll break down exactly what stable swaps are, and then I'll quickly highlight a recent article released by this team, given the research that they've done to make sure that this provides the most utility with the least amount of impact for users on the Cardano network. Third, I want to talk about Fluid tokens, which is now in support for Team Orange or Bitcoin. We've got their first ever ordinal lending and borrowing protocol coming live just over the last 24 hours. After that, I've got a quick update surrounding Axo, and in closing of today's video, I want to talk about SmartPlaces and their LBE or liquidity bootstrapping event that will be done in collaboration with the Minswap team. That said, and as always, if it's your first time stopping by, my goal is to provide you here in the growing Cardano ecosystem with all of the relevant news pieces and highlights when it comes to everything in this space. If you do appreciate that, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If you want to take things a step further, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Jumping straight into the first set of updates, I want to quickly touch on USDM. So I mentioned that this was just released on March 16th. That was actually done on a Friday. Over that Saturday and Sunday, we had more businesses going through the KYB and the KYC process in order to get access to be able to mint the first ever amounts of the fiat-backed stablecoin. So as it stands right now, we've got over $91,000, so nearing the 100K mark. And I want to take a moment here to just quickly highlight that this will take time. A lot of people in the community leaving comments here on my post on YouTube as well as on Twitter, asking why we don't have more liquidity. Guys, this is an organic platform. This is not something like USDC or USDT, which is already established and already has tokens on more than 7 to 8 different ecosystems. So the fact that this is their first ever rollout, I think we have to give them a little bit of credit for that. And again, this minting is being done by businesses which are just undergoing and just finishing the KYC and the KYB process. So let's be a little bit lenient, give them a little bit of time to breathe, and we can revisit the liquidity in the next 6 months to a year. And if it's still at around the same numbers, then I think a valid point would be able to be raised with respect to their onboarding and mass adoption in the ecosystem. But for now, I think that this is completely fine, given the fact that it's only been about 3 to 4 days since their initial launch. Now, jumping back in here, we've got the biggest mint taking place so far of about 80,000 USDM, followed by 10,000 and then 419, which was minted by the official team. Jumping over, I want to highlight some support coming in from the Minswap team. I believe they were the first DEX to actually get a liquidity pool open for USDM. And interestingly enough, USDM was trading for about 3 to 5 ADA. Again, let me take a brief moment to highlight this here. As many people were complaining about the depeg to the upside for USDM, keep in mind that this actually incentivizes people to mint USDM for $1, bring that on chain, and then sell that on a DEX, therefore reducing the price down, basically as an arbitrage opportunity for whoever's selling that on the open market. Conversely, if there's a depeg to the downside, you could expect that people will buy USDM from DEXs, bring that to USDM, and actually cash that out for $1, because again, it will always be mintable for $1 and it will always be redeemable or burnable for $1. So that's the peg mechanism. And as a brief reminder, please don't purchase USDM for more than $1. Again, I know that a lot of people are eager to get their hands on it, but be patient. As more liquidity comes online, we're going to see the price eventually be pegged to a dollar, which is what it's meant to be at. So jumping back in here, I wanted to quickly touch on the fact that right now we've got the ADA/USDM pool opening on the Minswap DEX. Please make sure to check out the official policy for USDM. If I jump over to the official website, I want to quickly highlight some potential fake tokens here as well. So as you can see, we've got the official ADA/USDM pair. Right now, the value at about 1.7 ADA. So the peg is working its way back down to being worth a dollar, with over 32,000 ADA's trading volume taking place over the course of the last 24 hours. Now, right below that, we've got another ADA/USDM pool here. This is a fake pool. So if you want to make sure that you're interacting with the right tokens when you're visiting something like Minswap, you can click on this filter here and you can actually search for verified assets only. So if I click on that, now you'll see that there's only 2 actual pools that remain. The one that was highlighted here by Minswap in the official announcement. And then we've got the first ever USDM/WMT pool already opening up. Again, taking a quick break here, I've received multiple requests surrounding could we begin to see more USDM based pair pools opening up in the ecosystem? And the answer is yes, as long as there's enough seed liquidity and additional liquidity coming into that liquidity pool to make it worthwhile to actually trade those assets. So right now, the majority of tokens traded on Cardano are based off of ADA and whatever token is that you're trading. But I believe that we're going to begin to see a huge shift here with USDM, especially as more comes online, with new liquidity pools for tokens or Cardano native assets being traded directly against USDM. Jumping back in, I want to quickly touch on an update surrounding the Wi-Fi team, which has now also adopted support for USDM. They've got their own ADA/USDM pool, which is now live as well. Taking a look at the official TVL here, we've got about 630 ADAs worth of TVL. So again, liquidity is relatively thin, but keep in mind that as more people mint, we're going to see more DEXs getting more liquidity. Third, I want to quickly touch on the Wing Riders protocol, which has now also launched their own ADA/USDM liquidity pool. So it states here, we're thrilled to see the launch of USDM, a Cardano stablecoin. As we wait for more liquidity to come into the stablecoin, it's a great reminder that stablecoins are important and that they aim to bring more growth and benefit to the ecosystem. That said, the official USDM/ADA liquidity pool for Wing Riders will be launching this particular week, where you can deposit. Next week, you'll be able to begin earning rewards. And then after that, you can begin to harvest. Again, 3 different DEXs, Minswap, Wi-Fi, and Wing Riders showing support here for USDM. Last but not least, we've got Iagon stepping it up here as well. And they're now in the process of actually minting USDM. So not only will they be providing that USDM into a liquidity pool, therefore rewarding IAG holders, but they're one of the first projects to actually put their money where their mouth is and to actually mint the fiat-backed stablecoin. So it reads here, we're in the process of minting USDM to provide a secondary liquidity pool for IAG holders. This will also be included in our liquidity providers program or their reward program. I think that'll do it there for updates surrounding USDM. Quite the list there. I will be providing more details surrounding how you can actually mint, some of the documentations, and then some interesting updates that I've received here from the team. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out in a separate video. The next thing I want to touch on here in the theme of stablecoins is the fact that Minswap's Stableswap will be coming out very, very soon. So it states here, get ready for the Minswap Stableswap coming out next week. In a nutshell, this is a way to quickly allow for anybody who holds USDM to swap that out for JED, or for example, something like MyUSD from Mint, or even IUSD, or a bridged version of USDT or USDC coming in from the on-chain team. So essentially a way to swap from one stable asset to another stable asset. Now, there are some calculations that do go into this process, which the team has highlighted here. And I believe this is all dealing with the AMP variable or the AMP variable. For the sake of time, I'm not going to be able to break this down. As you can see, it's very, very mathematically technical, very thorough here as well, breaking down all the reasoning and all of the attributes, right, related to this AMP function or to this AMP variable. In short, it looks like they will be supporting IUSD, JED, on-chain, and USDM, and they're currently undergoing testing right now with different pegs and different assets to see how the protocol will actually respond. I want to take a minute here to also highlight the fact that we've already seen Wing Riders launch their own Stableswap feature as well. So make sure to check out that particular platform if you want to swap between your stable coins, which are currently live on Cardano. Third, I want to jump into updates surrounding the Fluid Tokens protocol. So they've now added support for Team Orange, aka Bitcoin here, and they read when selling your ordinals is not an option. Well, when it's not an option, you can go ahead and utilize their brand new platform supporting lending and borrowing for Bitcoin ordinals. In a nutshell, if you're not familiar with the Bitcoin ordinals, they're basically NFTs or non-fungible tokens represented using sats or satoshis on the Bitcoin network. And as it stands right now, it's a very brand new ecosystem, and there's not a way to simply lend or borrow to tap into the value of your ordinal. So if you hold an ordinal and you want to lend that out, you can go ahead and do so. Or if you want to maybe borrow against your ordinal, I believe you can also go ahead and do that as well. Breaking down the article here, there's a couple of sections. One dealing with permissionless versus non-permissionless trading, where it reads that until now, most apps have relied on a so-called oracle, a multi-signature script that verifies loan criteria are actually met. Now, the biggest problem with this is that we're trusting a third party to verify our assets. With Fluid Tokens, they'll be removing that by implementing an elegant open source and permissionless script. With respect to the pooled lending, until yesterday, if you wanted to borrow against your ordinals, you had to look for a matching loan offer on the marketplace. However, with pooled lending, you're now able to borrow from a liquidity pool created for each ordinal collection. This means a lot of additional features for lending and borrowing, or the lenders and the borrowers. Specifically, lenders can now pick a collection, create a liquidity pool of their preferred size, select the loan terms, which include the duration, APR, and max loan amount. From the borrower side, they can now browse collection pools, pick the lowest APR, and borrow from multiple lenders within that specific pool. So providing utility and a new use case for the BTC community. But that isn't all. This also comes with a kickback for the Cardano community as well. So we've got El Raulito stating that this not only means that they're now going to be catering to a new community, but it also means that for the Cardano community, that there's now going to be Bitcoin being added into the treasury, and for holders, I believe, which hold the FLDT token. So again, keep in mind that because this will be running on Bitcoin, the protocol will be earning some fees as people are lending and borrowing. And I think that will be going to the treasury and some of the Fluid token holders. Jumping into this next tab here, we've got the official platform, which is available at btcdev.fluidtokens.com. I believe this is still on the development network or on the test net, not yet live on the main net. But if you want to play around with it and you've got a Bitcoin wallet, then you can go ahead and do so. So it currently supports the Xverse wallet, the Magic Eden wallet, the Phantom wallet, and the Unistat wallet, which will be coming soon. Again, we've got the pool details here. So we've got the different ordinals or the different NFT projects, the total liquidity available, the lending APR, the borrow APR, the minimum duration, and the maximum amount. So congrats to the official Fluid Tokens team for bringing new utility and new use cases, not just for Cardano holders here in the ecosystem holding FLDT, but for Bitcoin holders looking to tap into the value of their ordinals. As always, if you guys do enjoy updates like these, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, breaking down everything in Cardano, consider subscribing to Dapp Central. And last but not least, if you have any questions for me, leave them down below. And if you want to take things a step further, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Now, moving into the next segment, we've got the second listing officially announced by Axo. I just highlighted yesterday that they were listed on Bitmart. I believe they were ranked number 29th in terms of the top centralized exchanges. However, we've now got MEXC, which is ranked 11th, now adding support for trading the Axo token. I believe that when they do announce this, that this will be for the USDT or USDC trading pairs, but it's a huge step forward here with, I believe, over 3 million visitors to the MEXC website and over 1,600 different trading pairs on their platform. So a huge tier one, in my opinion, exchange now being added, or now adding support, for the Axo token. The very last story I want to jump into as a part of today's Cardano scoop is the LBE kicking off for SmartPlaces. I just had Bjorn, the co-founder, here on the channel to highlight everything that SmartPlaces is building and bringing into the SocialFi marketplace with their AR and AI support. And they're now going to be launching their SPX token, or their native governance token. So it states that we've got the discovery phase, which is where you're able to deposit or deploy your ADA. into the pool where you'll be rewarded with the SPX token, followed by the encounter phase where you can swap your SPX token for liquidity in order to earn into the liquidity pool once the actual protocol or once the LBE has been completed. So the discovery phase where you can deposit your ADA starts on April 4th at 3 p.m. UTC, and it ends on April 8th at 3 p.m. UTC, followed by the encounter phase where you can then swap that over into LP to provide into the liquidity pool once the LBE is complete. That begins on April 8th at 4 a.m. UTC. We've got a reiteration of the actual process here, again, launched by the official Minswap team, breaking down all of the information that I just mentioned on that prior slide. Again, if you want to find out more about this, you can head over to app.minswap.org/launch bowl. That will do it here for today's Cardano Scoop, breaking down all of the updates surrounding USDM, the fiat-backed stablecoin, and 3 DEXs adding support for the platform. I believe that we're also going to see DEX Hunter adding the ability to swap directly from their DEX aggregator into USDM. I would love to also see a very similar feature coming in from ADA Markets, a brand new DEX aggregator here joining the ecosystem. And then following that, we talked about the Stableswap feature coming in here from Minswap, as well as Fluid tokens adopting Bitcoin or going cross-chain with the support for Bitcoin Ordinals, as well as Axo's most recent listing with Mexi. And we just close out by highlighting the LBE coming in from SmartPlaces. As always, if you enjoyed today's update, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, breaking down everything in Cardano, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions or comments for me, or you just want to let your opinion be known, then leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.